Yo, Clipzy fam, get ready, cuz we're dropping the hottest news of the day. First up is Sara Rivers making a major move in her legal battle against Sean Combs. Then, the shocking developments in the Charlie Kirk case as prosecutors eye the death penalty for Tyler Robinson. We're also breaking down how Sinclair's ABC stations are taking a stand, replacing Jimmy Kimmel Live, with a tribute to Charlie Kirk. And get this, Donald Trump is weighing in, calling Kimmel's suspension great news for America. You do not want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you're always in the loop. Sean Combs' legal woes escalate as Sara Rivers appeals dismissal. This is a massive development in the ongoing legal saga surrounding Sean Combs, as former Making the Band 2 contestant Sara Rivers is now taking her $60 million racketeering and sexual assault lawsuit to the appellate court. The ruling from a lower court had dismissed most of her claims, but Rivers is fighting back, aiming to overturn that decision. Rivers' initial lawsuit, filed in February, accused Combs and several associated entities, including Bad Boy Entertainment, Universal Music, and Viacom, of serious allegations stemming from her time on the hit MTV reality show. She claimed Combs subjected her to sexual harassment and assault during production, and subsequently blackballed her in the music industry when she rebuffed him. The lawsuit also detailed claims of Combs controlling her sleeping schedule, mocking her eating disorder, and forcing her into unpaid menial labor, including a bizarre errand to fetch cheesecake from Manhattan to Brooklyn, all of which was filmed for the show. Of the 22 causes of action in her lengthy complaint, U.S. District Judge Jed S. Rakoff dismissed 21 permanently, meaning they cannot be refiled. The judge is awaiting an appeals court decision on the remaining claim, which involves New York City's Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act, to see if its claim revival window remains legally open after the state's Adult Survivors Act closed its similar window. Combs' legal team, led by attorney Erica Wolf, has consistently called the claims meritless, time-barred, and legally deficient, and expressed satisfaction with the court's dismissal. However, Rivers' appeal signals a determined fight ahead. The music mogul himself is currently facing numerous other civil lawsuits for alleged sexual misconduct and is awaiting sentencing on federal charges related to transportation to engage in prostitution. Will Sara Rivers get a second chance in court against Sean Combs? Next up, a shocking political twist as prosecutors decide whether to seek the death penalty in the Charlie Kirk case. Death penalty sought in Charlie Kirk murder case. In a development sending shockwaves through the political landscape, Tyler Robinson, the suspect accused of murdering Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, has been formally charged, with prosecutors announcing they will seek the death penalty. This marks a significant escalation in a case that has already captivated national attention. Prosecutors have hit Robinson with 7 counts, including aggravated murder and felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray stated that the decision to pursue capital punishment was made after a thorough review of the evidence and circumstances surrounding Kirk's death. Gray described the murder as an American tragedy and emphasized that Kirk was killed while exercising one of our most sacred and cherished American rights. Robinson, 22, was apprehended after a 2-day manhunt, ultimately being turned in by his own family, who recognized him from FBI-released photos. Investigators recovered a high-powered rifle and bullets with inscriptions referencing video games and online memes, suggesting a complex motive. The FBI has linked Robinson to the crime through DNA evidence and a reconstructed note indicating his intent to kill Kirk due to hatred and Kirk's perceived hatred. The case has ignited intense debate, particularly given the reported political leanings of the suspect and messages found on the murder weapon. Governor Spencer Cox noted the unusual nature of the inscriptions on the recovered casings, which included phrases like "OWO, what's this?" and "Hey fascist, catch!" The FBI also confirmed a DNA match to a towel wrapped around the rifle and a screwdriver found near the scene. Can this aggressive prosecution secure a conviction in such a high-profile case? Stay tuned as we explore the fallout from this case, including how broadcasters are reacting and who is celebrating the consequences. Sinclair stations replace Jimmy Kimmel Live, with Charlie Kirk tribute amidst controversy. In a bold move that's shaking up late-night television, Sinclair Broadcast Group is replacing the time slot for Jimmy Kimmel Live, with a tribute special honoring the late Charlie Kirk. This decision comes after ABC pulled Kimmel's show indefinitely, following the host's controversial remarks about Kirk's assassination. Sinclair isn't just preempting Kimmel's show. They're also demanding an apology from Kimmel to Kirk's family and a substantial donation to both the family and Turning Point USA, the organization Kirk co-founded. Sinclair's vice chairman, Jason Smith, issued a statement calling Kimmel's remarks inappropriate and deeply insensitive, and highlighting a perceived lack of accountability from national networks. They've stated that Jimmy Kimmel Live will remain suspended until formal discussions with ABC address professionalism and accountability. This move by Sinclair, a major player in local broadcasting, is seen by some as an attempt to exert influence over national networks and highlights a growing tension between broadcasters and content creators over editorial responsibility and political commentary. The situation has also drawn attention from FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, who publicly urged licensed broadcasters to push back against networks like Comcast and Disney, warning of potential FCC action if they continue to air content deemed to be news distortion. This incident is part of a broader trend of networks facing pressure over host commentary, with Stephen Colbert's show also facing an earlier-than-expected end. Will this bold move by Sinclair set a new precedent for broadcaster accountability? And what does Donald Trump think about all of this? We've got his reaction next. Donald Trump declares Kimmel's suspension great news for America. Former President Donald Trump has publicly celebrated the indefinite suspension of ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live, calling the move great news for America and congratulating the network for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Trump's strong reaction comes after Kimmel's comments on the assassination of Charlie Kirk sparked widespread backlash and led to the show's preemption. In a post on Truth Social, Trump didn't hold back, stating that Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, whom he also referenced as having his show canceled earlier in the summer. Trump extended his criticism to other late-night hosts like Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers, labeling them two total losers on fake news NBC. Kimmel's monologue on Monday night had criticized what he termed the MAGA gang for attempting to score political points from Kirk's killing and for trying to distance the shooter from their political alignment, despite a lack of clarity on the shooter's motives at the time. Fox News had interpreted Kimmel's remarks as suggesting the shooter was part of the MAGA gang, a characterization Kimmel did not explicitly make. The suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live followed actions by Sinclair and Nexstar, which kicked the show off their U.S. stations. Adding to the pressure, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr had publicly called on licensed broadcasters to stop airing Kimmel's show, warning of potential FCC action if they continued to broadcast content that could be seen as news distortion. Carr suggested broadcasters could do this the easy way or the hard way, implying further regulatory scrutiny if networks didn't address the situation. With political figures weighing in and networks taking drastic action, what does this mean for the future of late-night comedy? That's all the breaking news for today, but we'll be right back with a quick recap. All right, Clipzy fam, let's do a lightning round recap. Sara Rivers is taking her legal fight with Sean Combs to the appeals court. Prosecutors are aiming for the death penalty for Tyler Robinson in the Charlie Kirk murder case. Sinclair's ABC stations are preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live with a Charlie Kirk tribute, and Donald Trump is cheering on the suspension. That's a wrap on today's top stories. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe for more exclusive updates, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Follow us on all our socials for behind-the-scenes content and join the conversation in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.